Assembly leaders give testament for best wishes for President Buhari. Acting President Oshibajo inaugurates Advisory Council to secure lives on the roads. Information Minister presents more messages for broadcasters under digitization. Plus, NNPC reports drop in pipeline vandalism. A lovely evening to you and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. Tonight, I am Isaac Nkuma. Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki says President Muhammadu Buhari is healthy and there is no cause for alarm. He made this known after his visit to President Buhari in Abuja House in London. The Senate President was accompanied by the Speaker, House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and Leader of Senate, Ahmed Lawal. Dr. Bukola Saraki says the President's absence and imminent return shows that there is no vacuum in government and the system of democracy is working with all organs of government fulfilling this mandate. It was a night when party affiliation and political differences took the back seat as the Nigeria Governors Forum celebrates two at a valedictory ceremony and dinner held at the banquet hall of the State House. Dido Nifade reports.
More than this, immediate past governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, and the outgoing governor of Ondo State are the two members of the forum being honored. The two were described variously as men of high integrity who continue to contribute their best to good governance in the country over the years. Acting President Yemi Oshimajo could not agree less with this, as he described Oshomole and Mimiko as men whose achievements and persons would remain evergreen in the minds of the people of the country, urging them to continue to provide services to the people of the nation.
Both of these gentlemen have distinguished themselves as governors, and there is no doubt at all that their states will be extremely proud, and all of us are extremely proud of their achievements. Let me finally say that just looking at both Governor Mimiko and Adams Oshomole standing next to each other, it struck me that this is the long and short of the matter. And I think that we should really give them both a round of applause, the long and short of governance in Nigeria.
The night was not only for wining and dining laced with much humor, it was also a time when truth was told about governance.
Your Excellency, you provided a level playing field for everyone. I also want to thank you that if I ended my office on a happy note, it is in part because of the huge support that the federal government has extended to all the states. We may have taken those things for granted, but again, those of us who have been here, who have worked under previous presidents and previous chairman of Economic Council, we knew it was never so.
I am sure that this nation will be leader of nations. With our collective effort, and irrespective of the party we belong to, I believe that we can continue to work to advance the cause of progress in our nation.
Presents to you lovely picture of OK Donley.
The duo received precious pieces of artwork from members of the forum.
God Almighty will help you both.
And prayers from the acting president. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
A 24-member National Road Safety Advisory Council has been inaugurated by the federal government in line with the United Nations resolution towards improving global road safety and a demonstration of commitment of the federal government in addressing road traffic accidents and security of lives. Here again is State House correspondent Jide Onifade with the report.
The National Road Safety Advisory Council, to the glory of God, for the safety of our roads and the ultimate benefits of the Nigerian people. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen.
was Acting President Yemi Osinbajo inaugurating the Road Safety Advisory Council. The Advisory Council comprises of 6 governors, each from the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation.
And also including the Honorable Ministers of Transport, Power Works and Housing, Education, Health, Environment, Finance, Justice, Labor and Productivity, Interior, FCT, Minister of Information and Culture, Budget and National Planning, the National Security Advisor, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, President of NASIMA, and the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineering, as well as the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission.
We assure you, Your Excellency, that we will do our best to ensure that the mandate given to us is well executed and implemented.
Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi says the country is coming second behind Ghana because previous governments failed to ratify one of the 5 pillars of the United Nations Road Safety Resolution, which required each member state to set up a road safety management institution and prepare a strategic document for the country.
It shows now that the government, both at the federal and state and local government, have really demonstrated openly the commitment towards enhancing safety of lives and properties on the highways. And with this, I think we should start seeing the improvement and personal commitment of top government officials towards enhancing road safety management in the country.
The release of over 3 billion naira by the federal government for equipment and logistics, he said, further showed the commitment of President Buhari to safety of Nigerians. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And I'm now joined in the studio by the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi. You're welcome to NTA Network.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Now, the declaration of the period between 2011 and 2020 as a decade of action for road safety by the United Nations is evidence of global concern for the menace of road traffic crashes. Now, as the Secretary of the National Road Safety Advisory Council, how are you going to blend national strategy with that of the United Nations?
Thank you very much. We have 5 pillars under the UN Decade of Action for Road Safety 2011 to 2020. The first pillar has to do with the road safety management. Under the road safety management, member nations are supposed to have a lead agency, which the government of Nigeria established about 29 years ago. And under this road safety management, member states are expected to have produced a strategic document, that is the Nigerian Road Safety Strategy, which was, the council was inaugurated today. Inside the document is the provision for the National Advisory Road Safety Council, being headed now by His Excellency the Vice President. This really shows the commitment of the government of Nigeria now, that road safety has been taken to the highest level in the country, and that now the roles clearly spelled out for the federal, for the state and the local governments, because road safety is a shared responsibility. So everybody is expected now to play his role. Now being presided over at the advisory by the Vice President, that means the states, both the federal, the state and local government, be able to provide adequate funds in terms of the transportation, the health, education, and the social services towards enhancing road safety development and management in the country. I think this is a new page in the country today, and we must commend His Excellency the President and the Vice President for this bold initiative in ensuring that the commitment of the government towards the safety of lives and property is openly demonstrated. And the funding, there's been a kind of improvement in funding. Last year, at least you can see what the government did by providing
Corps Marshal, I just want you to hold your thoughts there, because now you're talking about the partners now, the roles. Now, what's the responsibility of the council itself?
Well, this council really is to set the national road safety strategies. That's the key thing there, and that to ensure effective coordination between the federal, the state and local governments, because along this line, there's been a kind of conflicts between the federal and the states. The council now will delineate what is the function of the federal government in respect to road safety management, what is the function of the states. Don't forget, we've encouraged the states to set up their own state traffic management agencies. This will be properly delineated, and also to see to the implementation of the strategic document. That means the council will be meeting every quarter, and the report is forwarded to FEC. And after 5 years, there will be another document produced. It shows that the full commitment of all the 3 tiers of government towards enhancing safety of lives and property, which is a good development in the country. And we appreciate the government efforts towards this.
All right, thank you. Yeah, you were just before I cut in, you were talking about funding. So what will it take to actualize this
now,
when it comes to
you see, it's not
finance
that,
and public sensitization?
It's not that there is a new funding plan that will come in. The government will now announce as per the budgetary provisions of the federal and the state to ensure the implementation of the budgetary provisions as it relates to road safety management. One, that means in terms of transportation, provision of high-capacity buses, in the terms of health, ensure that we have good trauma centers for rescue services. The ultimate is for us to have a zero fatality. We cannot eliminate crashes, but if peradventure there is a crash, we should be able to bring it. And you can see the trend within the last 3 years. We've been able to bring down the crashes, the fatalities is coming down. And we still have about 3 more years towards the decade. I believe we're on course. We should be able to, with the commitment of government commitment alone brings down the crashes, brings down this lawlessness to a certain level. And with this, I think we are set to go. We appreciate the government's support towards this.
Thank you very much, Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyemi there. Thanks once again for coming on the program. Now, after a brief presentation of forex policy options by the Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, members of the National Economic Council expressed concern over the current situation of exchange rate. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports on this and other deliberations at the Council's meeting in Abuja.
The Council members said the urgent review of the current forex policy, especially the gap between interbank and the parallel market rates, is necessary.
Given the general outcry in the country, so that we can show understanding and patience with the CBN governor and what he's doing to revive the economy. And generally we...
Further assures the Council that the economic recovery plan would take Nigeria out of the woods. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Industry has requested the Minister of Industry, Okechukwu Elenama, to appear before it in person instead of sending representation to the 2017 budget defense. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zayanu reports.
Over time, the Minister of Trade, Investment and Industry, Okechukwu Elenama, has severally failed to appear before the Senate Committee but kept sending representation. This time around, the Senate Committee members said the minister must appear before them personally.
I have respect for you. You've always defended the ministry, but let your colleague come and do its job.
This is exactly what happened last year. Sincerely, we need to be serious so that we'll be seen as a serious nation.
While defending the 2017 sectoral budget of the Industrial Training Fund before the committee, Director General of ITF, Joseph Ari, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for providing enabling environment for businesses to thrive in the country.
We have a total number of 296 institutions that have keyed into the Students' Industrial Work Experience Scheme across the country.
Executive Secretary of the National Sugar Development Council, Samuel Kwabi, also said that while implementation of 2016 has been a bit challenging, that of 2017 has more prospects.
The budget implementation started almost towards the end of last year because of late release of the funds to execute the projects.
While defending the 2017 budget before the Abdulaziz Murtala Inyako Committee on Special Duties, representatives of the Special Duties Office said they had no capital appropriation in 2016, pointing out that that has affected their critical functions.
We can allow you to increase this budget by 15%.
In the meantime, Director General of the National Pension Commission, Chinelu Anuho Amazu, has called for stiffer penalties that will serve as deterrent against mismanagement or diversion of pension fund assets under any guise. The Director General stated this at the just concluded 2017 budget debate.
The entire January to December 2016 have 23,756 retirees under the CPS who have remained without retirement benefits.
Meanwhile, Sectoral 2017 budget defense continues. From the National Assembly, Wazir Zayan, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Alhaji Lai Mohammed is advocating more funds for the ministry to enhance productivity in the sector, especially for grassroots public enlightenment for more commitment to national development. He explained this and others at Budget Defense session of the House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nadim reports.
Presenting the 2017 budget proposal of the ministry, which is 7.936 billion naira, covering personnel overhead and capital costs. Minister Lai Mohammed noted that the 2016 budget estimates did not make provisions for some capital projects, such as the town hall meetings. He said the year's capital budget is targeting programs that will enhance active citizen participation and make the ministry efficient in discharging its mandate.
Whereas the information sector is the live wire of democratic governance and constitutes the bridge between the governed and their government, public information management has been constrained in the last 5 years due largely to poor funding, which has hampered organized and speedy collaboration, processing and dissemination of information of government activities.
While the members sought clarification on some items as purchase of vehicles, they also pleaded with the minister to see how the capital budget of the National Orientation Agency could be increased.
The committees on 2016 budget performance oversight of this committee to these agencies revealed that most of them are operating with obsolete equipment that speak negatively about Nigerians as a nation. Even agencies whose mandate is on advocacy and public enlightenment could not discharge their duty due to lack of funds.
Other agencies under the ministry had taken turn to defend their budgets. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Still on budget defense, Minister of Defense Mansour Ali has expressed commitment towards maintaining the strength of Nigeria's military formations with additional funds as contained in its 2017 budget proposal. He stated this at the budget defense before the House Committee on Defense. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
The need to ensure completion of the ongoing military operation in line with the mandate of protecting the security of Nigeria as a nation and its people.
Group Public Affairs Ndu Ugamadu. It says only 18 cases of vandalized point on downstream pipeline were recorded in December 2016, as against 43 in the previous month, as a result of sustained engagements with stakeholders by the federal government and the corporation. It reports a 13.4% rise in oil and gas sales in December 2016, as against November 2016. $195.40 million was recorded for crude oil and gas in the month on the review, as against $166.18 million in November 2016. Also, total export sales of crude oil and gas from January to December 2016 stands at over $2 billion. Total export proceeds of $175.04 million for December 2016 was remitted to fund the joint venture cash call to guarantee current and future production. In downstream, a total of 1.3 trillion liters of white products was distributed and sold by the Pipelines and Products Marketing Company, PPMC, in December 2016, compared to 1.2 trillion liters in November 2016. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Traditional institutions want farmers to reap more. When we return, stay with us.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity
which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Beautiful things are happening when the sun goes down, and when the night is darkest, that's the time our light shines bright. It's good to take some time away to put a smile on someone's face. To smile for me, smile for you, smile because you know that happiness is sure. Let your joy be more. So everywhere you go, you can make your laughter loud. You don't have to be there to make your presence felt. No matter where you are, we can be together in love. Together in love. Together in love.
Out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1.
It is clean.
But not perfect 10.
Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible.
Challenge? Try Apex compared to bleach and detergent. Apex sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take that?
Perfect 10x challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack for 200 naira only.
The federal government's social investment program has begun. The poorest and most vulnerable in the land get 5,000 naira monthly, and phase 1 has started in 9 states of the federation. 200,000 unemployed graduates have been engaged in the NPower Volunteer Corps, designed to engage 500,000 people. 5.5 million children will be fed regularly in the homegrown school feeding program, which kicked off in 3 states last year, with 9 more to be added this year. And under the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP, thousands of cooperatives, market women, farmers and enterprising youth have been receiving between 10,000 and 100,000 naira soft loans since November 2016. The social investment program has begun. It can only get better.